Hello YouTube, this is Morgan, Airspeed Prime, here at my next Avatar comic news update video. And yeah, we have preview pages for the North and South Library Edition hardcover. And that may seem like, wait, the 3 books have already come out, what's there to cover? But it ends up being a kind of pretty usual thing with these library editions where the previews basically give you all of the extras for the library editions. It's been the case for the last couple, and I can confirm once again that we have most of the extras for this one this time as well. So I've been checking this out every so often to see if the preview had gone up, and today it has indeed gone up. So as you can see here, you can look inside the North and South Library Edition. There's the cover, and here's some of the kind of inner pages. Nothing particularly notable here, it's just, selected images from the comic, all the credits, certain pages from the comic as well are in here. And then we'll just pretty much scroll through this and get down to the bottom with the extras. The big thing obviously we were looking for with this is that Team Gurihuru's final piece of art. They teased it a while back, and a lot of people were really eager to see what it was. We have that here, and I'll get to it in a minute, but I think, especially now that we know what's up with the next Avatar comic, and we know that this creative team, Gene Yang and Team Gurihuru, North and South, was their last comic, they do give them a chance in this book to basically give their kind of final give their final thing to the fans, what they have to say, kind of going out. And I thought it was a really nice thing, just they gave them a page each basically in the book to give their thoughts. So you can see here, here's Gene Yang's kind of final page here to the fan. 5 years ago I got an email from an editor at Dark Horse. She told me that Nickelodeon was about to launch a sequel to Avatar: The Last Airbender. Dark Horse had just acquired the license to do a series of graphic novels that would fill the gap between the 2 shows. Would I be interested in writing it? It was a dream come true. I'd been an Avatar fan for a while by then. Getting to play in a corner of this universe I loved so much, what more could a guy ask for? The actual job was better than I hoped. Gurihuru are, simply put, perfect for the series. Their art style is both true to the original show and entirely their own. A difficult blend they pulled off flawlessly. Mike DiMartino and Brian Konietzko were involved from day one. They gave feedback at every stage, and I got an up-close look at how these 2 world-class storytellers approached their craft. I learned so much from them. Joan Hilty, Dave Marshall, and the folks at Nickelodeon and the folks at Dark Horse all love this series into existence. You can tell by the care with which they handled every detail. I'm deeply thankful for the readers who've come out and supported the series. I've met so many passionate and creative fans at conventions and signings and shows. I've received Avatar plush dolls, Christmas tree ornaments, and bracelets as gifts. It goes to show Avatar: The Last Airbender is great art that inspires more great art. I can't believe it's been 5 years. It's bittersweet to move on from a series and a team that I love so much. I will always cherish my time in the world of Avatar: The Last Airbender, but I have to confess, I'm really excited to see what's next for Aang, Katara, Sokka, Toph, and Zuko. Until then, flameo hot people, Gene Yang, with a little bit of Momo at the end. But yeah, it's kind of what you expect. I don't think there's anything too shocking in there. It's just a nice little thing to have. But here we go, the big thing we've been waiting for, Team Gurihuru. So they say Aang and Katara, Toph and Sokka, and of course Zuko. The 5 years with these characters were all very fun and precious for us. We really felt that this story was loved by so many people. We would like to thank Mike, Brian, Gene, and all the staff at Dark Horse. It was wonderful working with everyone, and we would like to thank everyone who read this book from the bottom of our heart. And here we go, thank you so much, and we get our final key image of basically the key characters. Now, I do find it interesting that Azula is included in this, and especially in the pose and I suppose the dynamic that they have going on there, where last we left Azula and Zuko, it was like heavy rivals, it's back on basically, and this is much more like kidding around, which I suppose is kind of more the dynamic of parts of the search rather than the way it is now. But it's a nice image. We get our key main characters. there's obviously some disappointment in the sense of, like, you know, Suki is, you know, technically a member of Team Avatar. Where is she? But most of the books have covered, you know, this group of 5 characters for the most part, and then if there's been a character who's maybe come in and out of the books who's been the most important for them, it has been Azula. So, you know, these is the 6 characters plus Momo. It's a fitting image, and I think in a way really, really represents Team Gurihuru's work on the books of, like, yeah, in a way it was about all of these characters, and it's definitely a really standout piece of art that represents their style really well. So really cool to get that. We get some of the character design work here as we go through. Concept art kind of pages, you know, basically without the colouring as we go through. The standard stuff that we get, ideas for different covers for the books, again, you know, sketches and stuff like that. And here's what the back cover is actually going to look like. I really love how they do these books, especially the back cover. There's just they're so colourful and so on. So this is pretty standout, you know. Hakoda, Katara, and Sokka on the back. So yeah, this book is out October 25th in comic book stores, November 7th elsewhere. I will hopefully be getting this book the day it comes out, and I'll do a full review of it, because obviously one of the key things is going to be the annotations throughout the book, which we'll see if there's any of the pages that they show here have the annotations. Of course, you know, if you sign into your account and look at even more of the pages that are on offer, realistically you can get most of the pages. You just have to wait to see if there's annotations. So there's one straight away. Let's see, in The Legend of Korra, the nations have gotten used to partnering together. We wanted to show the beginning of that here by including an earthbender in the construction crew. Okay, so pretty simple. This is stuff from early in the series. Again, okay, there's 2 pages which is nothing, which doesn't bode well for the usual thing I do in my reviews for these library editions is, like, basically count up the number of pages with annotations and see what the percentage works out as, and it's pretty much been getting smaller and smaller over time, so we'll see what goes on. So here is the next page with some annotations. This is a longer one. This is a reference to The Boy in the Iceberg, the very first episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender of the TV series. Within moments of waking up from his decades-long imprisonment, Aang invites Katara and Sokka to go penguin sliding. It's a brilliant scene that brings out the characters' personalities and accomplishes some slyly efficient world building. So, you know, nothing too crazy so far in terms of the annotations. Pretty basic stuff. There's only usually like a couple of the pages that have anything in any way notable with them. We'll see what this one has to say here. So this one is: before North and South, Gurihuru and I had done 4 volumes of Avatar: The Last Airbender comics. We focused on every member of Team Avatar except Katara and Sokka. We felt that it was time to give the 2 siblings from the South Pole their due. And there we go. For these books, we brought Katara back to her Water Tribe hairstyle. Okay, just design stuff. Interesting statement there, given that, like, ultimately Sokka is not really a focus in this book. Like, Katara gets so much more in this book than Sokka does. Sokka really hasn't had his kind of chance to shine. Young Katara still has a bit of innocence, and we were able to make her look adorable. Okay, just cute comment. But yeah, that's it. Nice to get that stuff. It's obviously kind of unfortunate that, like, one of the key unique things of the book has already kind of come out thanks to the previews, but especially I think with the library edition, it very much is a case of, like, you get that book because of the physical book, because of what it is and how nice it looks in person and how just well put together it is. I think, you know, them this being out right now as it is isn't really a problem. But yeah, that's my thoughts on all that sort of stuff. But yeah, what are your thoughts on Team Gurihuru's last, I suppose, official piece of Avatar art, at least for now? Thoughts on the kind of the goodbye stuff, and I suppose, will you be getting the library edition for this book? I know I certainly will, to add to my collection, and as I said, I'll do a review on it. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this? And yeah, this has been the video. Thanks for watching, and bye.